It is the duty of the right to unite. Yesterday, both the leader of the Conservative Party, the leader of the opposition, Kemi, and the leader of Reform, Nigel, made speeches explaining a fundamentally small c conservative truth, that the government must live within the means of taxpayers. We know this. We know this throughout all our history, that we know that there is limits to the amount of borrowing that governments can do. There are limits to the amount of taxation that can be imposed. And the two right-wing parties have said this. They have stopped faffing around, pretending nonsensical things like sharing the proceeds of growth. They have stopped their unrealistic view of the world that there was money for nothing. Indeed, the view of the world that meant we had schemes like Eat Out to help out during the pandemic. Both of us, both Reform and the Conservative Party, seemed to think previously that you could live in this never-never land. But at last, the truth is being told that there is not enough money and that we cannot afford to carry on spending as we are. This matters because it shows that the right in politics in the United Kingdom is united not just on its approach to international affairs, to Europe, to the concept of sovereignty and democratic control, to the belief in the nation state, and, regardless of the Conservatives' previous record, in proper borders, and I accept we didn't handle things at all well during the last Parliament. Those views were clearly held in common, but the economic views were less clear, and that could have been a source of tension, of differentiation, and particularly in the case of Reform, who in its last manifesto seemed to think there was unlimited money. That has changed. And why do I say it's a duty for the right to come together? This is a strong word, but it has to be a strong word because the country is in a terrible state. We have a government that cannot govern, a government with a majority of 170 that is unable to lead. It finds that when it offers up anything controversial, be it welfare reform or be it immigration reform, that its left squeals and the government backtracks. It has been all over the place. The hokey-cokey of announcements in relation to what might happen in the budget shows again that it cannot govern. It is in government but not in power, and what it is doing, what it is able to get through, is very damaging to this country. Why? Because it is increasing taxes, it's failing to cut expenditure, and it can't get the deficit under control because there is no more room to tax the country. We are at our limit of taxation. That is bad. Its green policies are disastrous. They are making us cold and poor. There is a problem at the moment that will get worse because we may have taken steps to make the green policies so entrenched in our system that it'll be extremely costly to remove them, and we continue to lose industry because industry cannot afford the high cost of energy that we have in this country, and that is not going to change under this government. The taxation system is driving people out of the country. Businesses, business people, entrepreneurs are leaving because they are not going to pay penal levels of tax. The country is being shockingly badly governed. Look at foreign affairs. Look what we're doing with Chagos, giving away not only an asset that is important to us in terms of national security, but an asset where the people, the Chagosians, do not want it given away to the Mauritians with whom they have no connection. Bad foreign policy, terrible European policy, where we are going to be paying the European Union for them to regulate us. Why would we wish to outsource our regulation to some of the worst regulators in the world? It's absolutely crazy. And it's also schizophrenic because at the same point as Labour wishes to do a reset with the European Union and take on more European rules, it's doing things in AI and in bank deposit insurance that are not allowable in the European Union. We have an AI policy that is not tied in with the EU and gives us a huge competitive advantage over the madly over-regulated European Union. And on bank deposits, we've just announced we're putting our bank deposit guarantee system up to £120,000 when the maximum in the EU is €100,000 or about £80,000. We're 50% higher. which gives security to depositors in this country, that they wouldn't be allowed. They are not allowed in the European Union. And yet the government wants to pay billions of pounds of your money when there's a shortage of money to the European Union to be regulated by it. That's why I say it's a duty of the right to come together, because by 2029 we're going to have socialist mantras being imposed on us, drift in terms of difficult decisions simply not being taken because this government isn't up to it. And we will be falling behind in the global race. And the answer to that is a conservative government, small c, if you prefer the parties of the right, a conservative reform government that will actually do the big things that are necessary to save the country. It's like 1979. And there is hope here as well, because the hope is that when things are difficult, that's when the country accepts hard decisions. When life's easy, when things are going swimmingly, nobody wants to see the benefits bill cut. They think it's all fine. When things are going swimmingly, people are happy with overseas aid. It's a nice thing to do. It's a nice gesture. When times are tough, people want government expenditure on what is essential, not on what is nice to do. They want to see regulatory reform, deregulation, that allows business to get on with doing business, the growth side of the economy. Whereas currently, with the government's employment rights bill, we are being increasingly over-regulated to stop things happening, to stop businesses employing people. But people don't mind that in an era of prosperity when the land is flowing with milk and honey. When the milk and honey stop, people recognize that you need to be serious about business. And one of the lessons of history is that people turn to conservative governments when they want to be serious, when they recognize that life is tough and difficult decisions need to be made. When the economy is booming and everything's fine, they quite like Labour. That explains Tony Blair, because they're good at spending money. And when there's money around, why not let them do it? But now there's no money left. The Liam Byrne message of 2010 will be truer in spades in 2029. You need parties that understand rigour. And the combination of Reform and the Conservatives understands this. And they're now saying it. That's what's so important about yesterday. Both leaders are saying the same thing. There is so little between us. It is nuance, it is stylistic, it is personality, but it is not the real depth and breadth of political, ideological divide. So it's the duty to the country, a country that is effectively on the rack, and the rack is being drawn tighter, the limbs are being stretched, the bones are beginning to creak. That is what Labour is doing to us. That is what must stop. And the way to stop it is with a significant majority of the parties of the right. That won't be achieved if we squabble with each other. It will be achieved if we come together. So my appeal for uniting the right is not about office for office's sake. It is not about a faction within the Conservative Party strengthening its position. It is about the future of our country and the ability to recover from what we are going through. It is essentially, let's make Britain great again. We can, if we're doing it together. We won't. We will get Zach Palansky and a horror of left-wing parties coming together if we don't unite. And it'll be our fault. We'll have nobody else to blame. So let's hope that the parties of the right do their duty. As Nelson might have said, it's what England expects. But in this context, the whole United Kingdom has the right to expect it. As always, thank you very much for listening. Oh, and I hope you like the new microphone. Thank you.